post we're going to be talking about wheat and gluten sensitivity and how it's related to lots and lots of chronic illnesses and degenerative diseases, from its heavy correlation with Hashimoto's, which is the most common cause of low thyroid in this country, to many autoimmune diseases. It can be related to a lot of different things. So typically when you're getting evaluated in the lab, your doctor sends you for a gluten testing or wheat testing. They're looking for 2 or 3 markers. And in fact, wheat itself has 24 markers that can be looked at. So let's just break it down a little bit so you can get an idea of why you're still feeling like you're feeling, even though you're being told maybe you don't have a gluten sensitivity. And wheat itself has proteins in it, and it has lectins in them. And a lectin, particularly in wheat, is what is called wheat germ agglutinin. All right? And on the protein side, that's where the gluten is. That's what people hear gluten. Gluten is the protein in wheat. In other posts, we talked about why there's so much more problems with gluten these days, and you can go look for that post. But the idea is gluten then can be broken down into glutenin. It can be broken down into gliadin and other types of substances, which we'll get to in a second. So on the gliadin side, there's alpha, there's gamma, there's delta, there's omega, there's all these different types of gliadin. Now typically when they're looking for gluten in your blood, they're looking for alpha gliadin. So just remember that where I have here. But there's 3 other gliadins. Gluten goes down to gliadin and glutenin, which is then acted upon by transglutaminase. That's the other thing they're looking for. They're looking for antibodies to transglutaminase. And if you have those, there's now the chance that you may have celiac. There's no definite into celiac until you get biopsied. But transglutaminase is what acts upon these substances to make deaminated gliadin. In other words, your body makes deaminated gliadin itself. We'll talk about this in a minute. This is a substance that's used in, what is used to make processed foods. But in essence, they're looking for one transglutaminase antibody, when in fact there could be up to 8 of them. So when they're only looking for one gliadin when there's 4, when they're only looking for one transglutaminase when there's 8, they're missing a whole bunch of things that could be going on. Now on the other side, as it comes down to gluten, there are things called gluteal morphin. Gluteal morphin is what makes you addicted to gluten. Prodynorphin is what promotes pain in the body, particularly headaches and migraines. So if you've noticed that your headaches or migraines disappeared when you eliminated gluten, or if you're still experiencing headaches or migraines and you haven't eliminated gluten, this could be why, because of what is called prodynorphin. Gluteal morphin is what can react with your opiate receptors and create that addiction to gluten. So if you've ever been told you need to stay off gluten and you've gotten very emotional about it, it's because you probably have a positive gluteal morphin reaction going on. In other words, you literally have an addiction. If you feel horrible or you have felt horrible going off gluten in the past, it's because you probably had addiction to it. You will eventually withdraw. Just like any other drug, your body will withdraw. So you have to stick to that gluten-free diet in order to get through that reaction. On this wheat germ agglutinin side, if there are positive antibodies to wheat germ agglutinin, then that can promote pain in the body, or joint pain, swelling, cold hands and feet. So if you have like foot pain, then they're cold all the time, and you're having other issues, this could be why that is happening. So if you're getting evaluated and being told that you don't have it, beware, because if they're only looking for 1, 2 things when there's all this that can be looked at, and there's one lab in the whole country that looks at this, and they're out in Arizona, so you need to find a doctor that understands this concept, that will go beyond the typical testing and actually send you for other testing to really figure out what's going on with you. So I hope you enjoyed this information, and I hope to see you on future posts, because we'll be talking more about this in the future. So thanks for watching, and make it a great day.